Welcome to this explainer. You know, the 2026 World Cup gave us an absolutely incredible tournament across North America. But as the confetti finally settled on that historic final at the New York, New Jersey Stadium, two completely different stories emerged about who the real standout performers actually were. On one side, we've got the official FIFA accolades, which are based on hard data, expert analysis, and tournament progression. And on the other, well, we have the passionate, chaotic, and heavily debated voice of the global fan base. So let's dive into this central question. Who really ruled the 2026 World Cup? If you ask the official selection committee, you get one very clear, unified answer. But if you look at the fan-voted Dream 11, you get a completely different picture, one that sparked massive debates, conspiracy theories, and outright outrage online. I mean, how could two groups watching the exact same tournament arrive at such wildly different conclusions? This clash actually tells us a lot about the fascinating friction between expert analysis and the power of global crowdsourcing. Section 1. Official World Cup Awards. Spain's objective dominance. Looking at the official results, the Spanish footprint is literally everywhere. After Spain lifted the trophy for a second time, defeating Argentina 1-0 in extra time, they absolutely swept the major non-scoring categories. And honestly, it's easy to see why. Rodri took home the golden ball as the tournament's best player for his masterful, game-controlling midfield performances across 8 grueling matches. Unai Simon claimed the golden glove for his heroics in net, and Pau Cubarsí was named best young player after a breakout tournament that showed maturity way beyond his years. Actually, the only major award Spain didn't grab was the Golden Boot, which went to France. And speaking of France, the number 10 is just a staggering achievement. Kylian Mbappe secured that Golden Boot by scoring an astounding 10 goals in just 8 matches. I mean, despite France falling short of a third successive final and ending up with a bronze medal, Mbappe's individual brilliance on the stat sheet was entirely undeniable to the official award committee. You simply cannot argue with that kind of output at the highest level of the sport. You just can't. But that attacking brilliance is rivaled by another crucial number, 7. That's Jude Bellingham's goal tally, which earned him the bronze boot. He started every single game en route to the semifinal, scoring absolutely critical goals against teams like Croatia and Panama, and ultimately helped England claim third place. To put that into perspective, this was England's best World Cup finish in 60 years, and his 7 goals are the most any Three Lions player has ever scored at a single major tournament, a real game changer. Now, to really understand Spain's overall dominance, you have to look at the absolute wall they built at the back. Throughout the entire 2026 World Cup, the Spanish defense conceded just 1 single goal. Yeah, 1. Unai Simon recorded 7 clean sheets in 8 matches, fully shielded by his backline. That is a historic level of defensive solidity, setting a standard that makes what we're about to look at next so incredibly fascinating. Section 2. The fan-voted Dream 11, the People's Choice. So here's the full 11-man roster chosen by the world. It's a fascinating blend, to say the least. You've got your expected superstars in attack, a solid midfield, but then take a look at the goalkeeper, Vozinha from Cape Verde. While Unai Simon won the official Golden Glove, fans rallied behind Vozinha, who made 18 saves and claimed nearly 40% of the fan vote after a massively busy 4 appearances. It's a wonderful nod to one of the tournament's best underdog stories. But as you scan down to that defensive line, Porro, Martinez, Upamecano, Cucurella, take a second to process those names. Given what we just discussed about Spain's historic defense, you might notice someone very important is missing. Before we get to that defensive drama, though, let's look at the forward vote share. It was incredibly tight. Mbappe led with nearly 30% of the vote, backed by his 10 goals. Erling Haaland pulled in 27.5% after scoring 7 goals for Norway. And Lionel Messi, who won the official silver boot with 8 goals for the runners-up, captured just over 22%. It really just goes to show that in a global fan vote, raw attacking output and massive star power will almost always dictate the ballot. In the midfield, Jude Bellingham absolutely dominated the global fan vote, taking over 29% after his stellar bronze medal campaign. Francis Michael Olise picked up nearly 19% after providing 7 assists and 17 key passes. And the official Golden Ball winner, Rodri, sits in third with just over 15%. So the fans and the experts completely agree these are top-tier players, but they heavily disagree on the order of their importance to the tournament. Section 3. The Great Defender's Snub, when fans revolt against a fan vote. Because here's the twist. This highly upvoted comment perfectly captures the raw, immediate reaction online. No, Cubarsí is mental. Fans looked at a Spanish defense that conceded only one goal all tournament and were utterly shocked that those central defenders weren't anchoring this dream XI. So the crucial point is understanding exactly why they were missing. As fans quickly pointed out, it wasn't that the world voted against Spain center backs, it was that FIFA reportedly didn't even make Pau Cubarsí or his defensive partner Aymeric Laporte available options on the voting ballot for the final selection. The player holding the trophy for official best young player wasn't even given a slot in the ballot box for the fans to vote on. No way, right? This sparked some intense debate, and we're just impartially reporting the prevailing theories straight from the community here. Theory 1. Fans felt FIFA intentionally limited Spanish options to artificially create a more diverse global XI. Theory 2. The actual voting mechanics. Voting happened every game week, meaning players who performed well early or had massive weekly hype carried their votes to the end, even if they faded later. And Theory 3. Sheer fan volume. Many pointed out that Argentina's massive, highly engaged fan base heavily mobilized to boost Lisandro Martinez into the squad. And that specific inclusion led to this popular quote. They got butchered by the butcher, referencing Lisandro Martinez's well-known nickname. Fans were quick to point out the glaring statistical irony here, highlighting the ultimate flaw in subjective voting mechanics. See, Argentina as a team conceded 8 goals during the tournament. Spain conceded 1. Yet a central defender from the team that conceded 8 was available and voted in over the center backs who conceded just 1. Section 4. Positional quirks and debates. Tactical nightmares. Beyond the personnel snubs, this rigid structure created some real positional quirks, or as the tactical purists called it, tactical nightmares. When you force top-voted players into a set formation, things get weird. The Dream 11 placed France's Michael Olise in the middle of the pitch. Placing a dynamic, creative winger like Olise in the middle, effectively chaining him down as the defensive anchor of a midfield, is a choice that absolutely baffled onlookers. Olise is a pure attacking threat. He had 0 goals but 7 assists. This quote perfectly captures the frustration of football fans everywhere. One user wrote, "Rodri on the right and Olise in the middle is legit testing my OCD, sheesh." By just dropping the most popular players onto a graphic, you end up forcing golden ball-winning defensive midfielders like Rodri completely out of position, all just to accommodate attacking wingers in the center of the park. But amidst all the tactical outrage, we have to remember what a fan vote truly is. One user joked, "Not including Cho Gusang is ridiculous. He was clearly one of the best-looking players of the tournament. Who wouldn't want to dream about him?" It's a funny, tasteful reminder that fan awards are purely subjective. They're driven by emotion, aesthetics, national pride, and weekly hype, not just tactical perfection. So, to summarize what we've unpacked in this explainer today, the 2026 World Cup leaves us with 2 distinct legacies. On one hand, we have the official expert accolades, rooted in data, defensive records, and the objective reality of Spain's dominant championship run. And on the other, the fan-voted Dream 11, a fascinating snapshot driven by emotion, weekly momentum, and occasionally restrictive voting mechanics that left some of the tournament's absolute best defenders entirely off the ballot. Which leaves us with one final provocative question to think about. If this fan-voted Dream 11, with Vizinha in goal, Olise playing as a defensive midfielder, and a backline missing the best defenders of the tournament, actually took the pitch, could they beat the real World Cup champions Spain? Or, as one fan brilliantly joked online, with a team built like this, are they just getting ready to play Mars? Thanks for hanging out with us. Keep asking those smart questions, and we'll see you next time.